online.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to Survival Korean. I'm your teacher, Hana. 안녕하세요, 하나쌤이에요. You can call me 하나 선생님 or 하나쌤. Okay, we're gonna review what we learned last time. We learned a lot last time. We learned the traditional way of counting numbers and some classifiers and some sentences. Do you remember all? Well, if you're not able to remember everything, totally fine. ไม่เป็นไร Okay, just let's review. Okay, number one, traditional way of counting numbers. Number one, Hana. My name, Hana. What about number two? That is 둘. 둘. What about number three? 셋. 셋. Number four, that is 넷. 넷. Number five, that is 다섯. 다섯. What about number six? That is 여섯. 여섯. What about number seven? 일곱. 일곱. Next one, number eight. What is number eight? 여덟. 여덟. This one, number nine. That is 아홉. 아홉. And number 10, 열. 열. And then maybe your age 19. That is 열 아홉. 열 아홉. What about 21? You remember 20? 20 was 스물. So 21 is 스물하나. 스물하나. What about 22? 22 is 스물둘. 스물둘. I told you at least you got to remember your age in a traditional way of counting numbers. Okay, 스물둘. What about 30? Does anybody remember this one? That is 서른. 서른. Then what about 40? Anybody? That is 마흔. 마흔. Then what about this one? 50. 50 is 쉰. 쉰. 60. That is 예순. 예순. 70. That is 일흔. 일흔. And then 80. 여든. 여든. And 90. That is 아흔. 아흔. Okay, 100. This one is easy because, both sign way and traditional way have the same word. That is, 백, 백. Okay, how many students are there? Can you say it in Korean? Students, 학생. How many? 몇 기, 몇. And then a classifier counting people. 명. 학생 몇 명 있어요? 학생 몇 명 있어요? There are 102 students. Okay, so number first, 100, 100. 2, 둘. But I told you, just 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 1, 2, 3, 4. They drop the final sound when they meet a classifier. So, not 둘, 두. 100, 두. And then, what is 콘 inภาษา가오리? 명. So, 102명 있어요. 102명 있어요. So this point you got to remember. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷 are changed to 한두, 세, 네 when they meet a classifier. Okay, how many dogs do you have? Do you remember this sentence? So, 뚜아 is 마리. 강아지 몇 마리 있어요? 강아지 몇 마리 있어요? Well, what was 삼뚜아? 셋? No, not 셋. 세 마리. 세 마리 있어요. 세 마리 있어요. Okay, so today we're gonna learn the sentence how old are you? Mainly talking about your age. We already learned the traditional way of counting numbers, so if you remember that, you could easily make a sentence. Okay, let's dive into our lesson. Well, with this sentence, how old are you? There are 4 levels of formality. So at least you got to remember 4 different types of sentences. 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? This one is most common, but you can use this sentence to those who are in a similar age as you, or to those who are younger than you still. Okay, 몇 살이에요? Formal, but not extremely polite. 몇 살이에요? 몇 살 actually is 끼비. 몇 살. Okay, next one. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? We learned the sentence 어떻게 되세요, meaning what, and 나이 meaning age. This one is more polite, so you can use it to those who are older than you. So for example, you can use this sentence to me. 선생님, 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 선생님, 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Okay? Well, I'm old, but not, like your grandma. Then you could use this sentence. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Third one, 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? You could see the change. Like instead of just using 나이가, well, this sentence used 연세가. 연세 meaning age. Same word, but really extremely polite word. So you can use this sentence to those who are much older than you, like to the seniors, like, just to your grandma, grandpa, just really, really, really old people. Okay, 연세가 어떻게 되세요? Well, if you use this sentence to me, it would be really awkward because I'm not that old. Okay, only with this sentence, you can use it to those who are much, much older than you. Okay, like, just your grandma, grandpa's age. Okay. The last sentence that I'm going to teach you is the most casual one. 몇 살이야? 몇 살이야? This one is super casual and informal. So you cannot use it to me or to those who are older than you. Even just 1 year older than you, you cannot use this one. Only you can use it to those who are younger than you, much younger than you. 몇 살이야? Okay, let's take a look at the words in detail. So 몇 살, that is 끼삐, 몇 살, how many years, how old. 끼삐, 몇 살. 나이, as I taught you, meaning age. Okay, that is a pretty common word. 연세 also means age, but this one is extremely polite. Okay, so you can use this word only to those who are much older than you, like the seniors. 어떻게 되세요 is really polite sentence meaning what? 어떻게 되세요? So this one, 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? You can use it to those who are in your similar age or younger than you. Okay, politely. So maybe just to your classmates, you could use this sentence. 몇 살이에요? This one. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? This one is more polite, so you can use it to those who are older than you, like me. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Or this one, 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? I told you, this one you can use it to those who are much older than you, only to the seniors or elderly. Okay, last one, 몇 살이야? 몇 살이야? To those who are much younger than you, like to kids. Okay. Now, let's just take a look at this quiz, and solving this quiz, you could think about which sentence you must use. So, among those 4 sentences, 몇 살이에요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 몇 살이야? You can choose one. Okay? Situation number 1. You visited your friend's house and you met his grandmother there. What sentence are you supposed to use? The answer is 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? Because she is like your grandma, really old. Quiz number 2. In this situation, you're meeting with a group of new people. They all look slightly older than you or in your similar age. What sentence would you choose? So the answer is 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? You cannot choose 몇 살이에요 here because as I told you, 몇 살이에요? You can use it to those who are really, just those who are in your similar age. But in this situation, it's kind of like an official meeting. Okay, and even just you don't know how old they are. So you could use 나이가 어떻게 되세요? What about this one? You joined a new club in the university and met many students there. Okay, so they must be in the similar age. The answer is 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? Because you guys are all students in a similar age. Okay, last one, number 4. In this situation, your family went for a trip. While playing on the beach, you found a cute boy and had a small talk with him. So, what sentence would you use? That is 몇 살이야? 몇 살이야? Good job. Okay, repeat after me. 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? Okay. this one you can use to those who are in your similar age or younger than you. Repeat after me. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Okay, this one, you can use it to those who are older than you. Even just 1 year older than you, you can use this. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Good job. Next one. 연세가 어떻게 되세요? One more time. 연세가 어떻게 되세요? This one can be used to those who are much older than you, like the seniors or elderly. Even just you cannot use it to the professors or teachers because if they are not like the seniors. Okay? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? Okay, last one. This one is really super casual, informal. So you can use it to those who are much younger than you, like kids. So 몇 살이야? 몇 살이야? Good job. Okay, now we're going to talk about, our age. So you got to answer how old you are. When you just say how old you are, you got to put number like this. Number, traditional way, and then put the verb 이에요. Or you can use a classifier 살. 살 is like 삐. So 끼삐, 몇 살. 살 is a classifier counting your age. So you could use a number in traditional way and then put 살 and then verb 이에요. So 살 is a classifier for counting age. Okay, so for example, when you want to say I'm 20 years old, there are two ways to answer. The first one is you could simply put the number in the traditional way. Like 20 is 스물, and then you could put the verb 이에요. So 스물이에요. 스물이에요. Or you could use a classifier counting age. That is 살, like 삐, 살. So then you could say 스무 살이에요. 스무 살이에요. 선생님, why is it 스무, not 스물? Well, 20 is 스물. But 스물 also like 1, 2, 3, 4. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. They just change it to 한두, 세, 네 when they meet a classifier. 스물 also, when it meets a classifier, it drops the final sound. So you got to say 스무, 스무 살, 스무 살. Okay? So 스무 살이에요. Good. Okay, now if you want to say I'm 21 years old, you could say 스물하나예요. Just put the number. 스물하나예요. Totally fine. Or you could use a classifier 살. Then 하나, you got to drop the final sound. So 스물한. 스물한 살이에요. 스물한 살이에요. What about 22. You are 22 years old. You could simply put the number 스물둘. 스물둘이에요. 스물둘이에요. Or if you want to use a classifier 삐, that is 살. So 스물두 살이에요. In that case, 둘 drop the final sound. So 스무, 스물두. 스물두 살이에요. 스물두 살이에요. Okay, what about I'm 35 years old? Well, only 1, 2, 3, 4 and 스물, 20. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷 and 스물. Those 5 numbers drop the final sound. And the other numbers, you don't need to change anything. So either way, you can say, only putting the number 35이에요. Or 35살이에요. Okay? 35살이에요. Well, just in Korean, what is interesting, older people tend to just, only put numbers, not, using a classifier, 살. I don't know why, because older people tend to think the classifier 살 is a little bit cute, sounds really cute. So only children and then teenagers and then, young people like you guys, you could say 20살이에요, 21살이에요. But I would not say 44살이에요. I would simply say 44이에요. I don't know why Koreans do that. Because 살 sounds a little bit cute. Well, as for this sentence, I'm 44 years old. We learn 44 in a traditional way. How can you read it? That is 44. So you can simply say 44이에요. 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 Or if you want to use a classifier B, 살, you could use 44살이에요. 44살이에요. I told you, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a traditional way. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. When they meet a classifier, they drop the final sound. So, not 44살, 44살이에요. Good. Okay, next one. I'm 55 years old. Okay, what was 55 in Korean? Traditional way. 55. So you could simply say 55이에요. 55이에요. Or you could use the classifier 살. 55살이에요. 55살이에요. Okay, repeat after me. 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? Well, I can use this sentence to you guys because you're much, much younger than me. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? One more time. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? You can use this sentence a lot to me, to anybody who is older than you. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? Next one. 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 연세가 어떻게 되세요? I told you this one, you can use it to those who are much older than you, like to the elderly. One more time. 연세가 어떻게 되세요? Good job. Okay. The most casual, informal one. 몇 살이야? 몇 살이야? Okay. So I'm 20 years old. You could say 스물이에요. 스물이에요. Or 20살이에요. 20살이에요. Good. Next one. If you are 21 years old, 21예요. 21예요. Or 21살이에요. 21살이에요. Okay. If you are 22 years old, okay. Okay, if you are 22 years old, 22이에요. 22이에요. Or 22살이에요. 22살이에요. Wonderful. Okay. I'm 35 years old. That is 35이에요. 35이에요. Or 35살이에요. 35살이에요. Good job. Next one. I'm 54 years old. 54이에요. 54이에요. Using a classifier. 54살이에요. 54살이에요. Good. Okay, so, well, before diving into a conversation, we're gonna learn some words. So here, the first word, 할머님. 할머님. That is an honorific title when calling grandma. 할머님. Okay, the next word sounds really similar to 할머님, but it is 할머니. 할머니. You know, really a friendly way of calling your grandma. 할머니. Well, you know, 씨 is like 군. So 하나 씨 meaning 군 하나. Okay. 핌 씨, 군 피. Well, in Thai, you got to use 군 first. But in Korean, you got to use 씨 later after using the word. So 하나 씨, 핌 씨, 논 씨, like this. And 는요 meaning what about you? So 하나 씨는요, what about you, Hana? Like this. What about you, Miss Hana? Okay, then let's practice with this conversation. In this situation, Yaya visited her friend Minnie's house and met her family. I'm gonna read the whole conversation and explain what each sentence means. And then we're gonna read it in turn. I'm gonna read Minnie and Grandma and Minsu's part, and you are gonna read Yaya's part. Okay? Now I'm gonna read it and explain it to you. So Yaya said, 안녕하세요, Minnie 씨. 씨 is like 군, so it's like 군 Minnie. But as I told you, you got to use 씨 after using the name. Okay, well, you know, in Korean, instead of saying 씨 Minnie, you got to say Minnie 씨, name and then 씨. Okay, and Minnie said, 안녕하세요, Yaya 씨. Okay. So hello, Miss Yaya. And Yaya said, Minnie 씨, 나이가 어떻게 되세요? This one is the most common and formal sentence asking somebody's age. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 저는, well, you could omit this 저는 meaning I. So 저는 24살이에요. Meaning, I am 24 years old. Okay, you could omit 저는 24살이에요. It's just fine. 야야 씨는요? We learned this expression meaning, what about you, Miss Yaya? 야야 씨 meaning Miss Yaya. 는요, like, what about you? So 야야 씨는요? What about you, Yaya, Miss Yaya? And Yaya said, 21예요. Meaning, I'm 21 years old. 할머님, 할머니는 연세가 어떻게 되세요? 할머님 is an honorific title calling a grandma. 할머님. And then 할머니는, 할머니 meaning grandma. 할머니는 연세가 어떻게 되세요? How old are you, grandma? And Minnie's grandma said, 79이야. 79 meaning 79 in the traditional way. What about 이야? 이야 meaning, it's like a be verb, but actually it's really casual and informal. So, you know, comparing to 이예요. 이예요 meaning also, it's a be verb, but 이야 also is a be verb. But this time, grandma, you know, grandma doesn't need to use a really, you know, formal or polite sentence to you. So she uses this 이야 instead of 이예요. So 79이야 meaning it's like, you know, 79이에요. Okay, but this one is really informal one. 79이야. 네. 네 meaning yes. 민수는 몇 살이에요? Well, this time Yaya didn't use 민수 씨 because 민수 is pretty young, younger than you, right? So she didn't use 씨 or 군. Simply 민수는 몇 살이에요? How old are you, 민수? And then 민수 answered, 17살이에요. 민수 used a classifier, 살. So he answered, 17살이에요. Meaning, I'm 17 years old. Okay, now we're gonna read it in turn. You're gonna read Yaya's part, and I'm gonna read the other part. You go first. 안녕하세요, 야야씨. 저는 24살이에요. 야야씨는요? 일흔 아홉이야. 열일곱 살이에요. Okay, now we're gonna learn some Korean alphabet. Today, we're gonna learn 4 double vowels. First one, 에, 에. 에 and 에, even though they look different, the spelling is different, they pronounce the same. 에 and 에. 예, 예. And this one, 예, 예. Now you could guess. Actually, these two, 예 and 예, even though they look different, the spelling is different, they pronounce the same. 예, 예. Okay, we learned the word 그. Okay, that is G sound. And 에, that is 개. 개. 그, 에, 개. What about this one? Do you remember the first consonant? That is N sound, N sound. N and 에. So that is 네. 네. Okay, as for this one, that consonant looking like a circle, this one doesn't sound anything like a blank, like, a zero. But this one, if it goes under one consonant and one vowel, then it sounds 응. But in this case, because it is used as the first consonant, it doesn't have any sound. You could simply pronounce the vowel. 예, 예. This one, well, same. So you could pronounce the vowel. 에, 에. Okay, let's take a look at some words. 네. 네, meaning yes, really polite word. So, is Korean interesting? 네. Yes. 게. 게, meaning crab. Like boo. 가게. Can you read it? 가게. That is a store, shop. 가게. Next one, can you read it? The first one we already learned, 에, and then the second syllable is 그 and 이 sound. So, 기, 애기. 애기, meaning a baby. Well, this one, 예. 예. And then the second syllable, 그 and 이, 얘기. 얘기 means a story. Okay, everyone. Today also we learned a lot. So, how much can you remember? Maybe 10% or 20% of the whole things that we learned? Still, 갱막! Excellent. Really good job. I hope you can come back next time. See you. Bye.
online